All right, I'm on hole number 9 of the Silver State Tournament. I'm in Wednesday's qualifying round of the rookie division. Hole number 9, the dreaded hole number 9. Now, here's the deal. I don't have any. If you have a 5 power ball, you can blast over to the other side and try and get yourself up here. And yesterday, I was up in this area. If I can get my pen to work, I was up in this area right here, and it was 432 yards. So with a big dog, you can bounce from here. Second bounce is on this island. Third bounce trying to do a rough bump to just bleed up on the green. And I put on about 3 topspin, and I needed to put on about 3.5. I got up on the green, and then it rolled back and then rolled back in the rough. So, you have a shot with a 5 power ball, and I was using a berserker, trying to use as much of the wind as possible to get up in here and really go for it, to try and get on in 2. But in this account, I don't have a 5 power ball. And I have some 4 power balls, but I'm saving those for hole number 1 because I have a much better shot at getting the eagle on hole number 1 with a 4 power ball than I do coming out on this hole. So I'm going to play this hole the traditional way with a Titan. And I'm going to play with a big topper, trying to get out here as far as I can. My goal is to try and get out as close to 400 yards as I can with my big topper. And I'm going to bring a big dog because I'm going to go for it if I have any shot at all. If I can get my big dog onto this island pad right here, I'm going to go for it. Because the downside is that I end up in the rough or the sand down here. But I'm going to play it by ear as I get out there and see what happens. But my whole goal is to try and get up there and give myself a really decent shot at it. We'll see. It's a difficult hole to put in from distance. That's for dang sure. Big topper, big dog. And I think everything there will work. I'm going to bring a Titan, the king of balls. Open up that pin chest, get another one rolling. Here we go. Now in this, unlike if you just watched hole number 8, unlike hole number 8, where the drive shot you can dig way down in there. You don't want to get right on it, but you can dig way down in there, and the ball doesn't carry. Like some of these holes, like if you had a 4 wind and you got right down on it and you pulled out 4 wind, it rolls over at the very end, and it actually will carry you farther than what it looks like, and you'll end up in the rough. Hole number 8 doesn't do that. It's flat. And so you can dig down into that hole, but you can't do that on this one. If you get too far down in on this drive, the course curls down right at the very end, and at the very end there, it'll carry just a little bit farther, and you'll end up in the rough. So you got to be careful here that you don't dig too far down into that hole. Big topper is about 2.1 per ring, so that's going to be 2 rings forward, so it's going to push me 2 rings forward, so that's pretty close to that. I'm going to pull back just a little, try and give myself just a little bit of breathing room. I'm not going to put any overpower on it. Hitting it perfect. Trying to get up there as far as I can. 372. Now if you have a Titan and an extra mile, and now my opponent's real only choice, you can't make it over from there. So your only choice is to do this shot right here, the bounce over. You can get more distance, and my opponent's pulled back a little bit too far, so they're going to short shoot it. They may actually clip on the other side. You can get more distance on a shot like this with a extra mile, or excuse me, with a big topper and a Titan than you can with an extra mile and a Titan. Well, let's see if there's any shot at all to go for it. So it's going to push me forward a couple more rings. I'm going to try and land on that fairway pad in front of it. Hitting it perfect. And see if I can bleed through that rough and land on that fairway pad. And that's about the best that I can do with that ball and those clubs. Now I should be in my wedge range, and my wedge is a rapier and has tons of backspin. So I may be able to get up there on the green and actually try and backspin it in and not have to do the rough bump. If you were in front on the fairway pad that's right behind it, you'd probably be in your wedge range. And I'm not sure if a claw and a thorn would have enough backspin to keep you up there, but this is the traditional area. Like if you're playing one-on-one, you've all been in this area a bunch of times. Let's see what I can get done with the backspin here. Okay, at this distance, come back just a little. All right, it's all about hitting it perfect. Hitting it perfect. Give myself a look. Give myself a look. I'm going to do anything I can on this to increase my odds. The risk is, I'll tell you what's risky about this hole, is that shot coming onto the green is risky, because if you're out here in the wrong spot, or you've got to do that rough bump, or you overshoot it, it'll roll completely over the green. And it is difficult from the other side. And that right there, hitting that rough and just ending up in the rough, there is a bunch of risk on this hole. Bunches. One of my teammates asked why I always pull it back and do the top spin. Look how small my ring set is. Okay? My ring set is so small, it's barely the size of the flagpole. I should be able to slice that ball and it still go in the hole. So by pulling it back, you do two things. Number one, you take the wind out of play. So if you had a shot where you're going all the way across the green, the closer you can get your ring set to you, the less time it spends in the air, the less the wind affects it. Number two, the closer you get it to you, the more accurate it gets, and the smaller the ring set gets. And the deal is you can hit it great to the left or the right, and it's still going in the hole. And my opponent should get in the hole right there. He's so close that should be able to get it in. Excellent. That works. Nice shot. I will forfeit, and I will give them a reward for that nice shot. Alright, that was hole number 9 of the Silver State Tournament and Wednesday's qualifying round of the Rookie Division. That should get us the minus 12, so we picked up 1. We missed the putt on 5. So we had lots of opportunities to pick up shots. So going into the opening round and the weekend round, my opening round, I really want to pick up all 3 of the par 4s. So that puts me at minus 14. That puts me at minus 28. So even though you look at the score here and you go minus 24, my whole goal in the opening round is to shoot the minus 28, and I really want to dial in the par 3s by the weekend round. And in the weekend round, I think in my bracket it's going to take a 30 or better to win, and so I won't. My minimum score that I'm looking for as I get towards the weekend round is going to be 30. But shooting the minimum scores and picking up, there's a lot of opportunities to pick one up here. So, if you put yourself in the right spot, you can pick up a shot here and there, and it's really going to separate you from the crowd. But going into the weekend round, expect the weekend round to be absolutely wild in this tournament. just because of the holes that we've got. Let's see where we're at. We still got a bunch of people that haven't qualified yet. So I'm thinking that it's going to take, and what I've seen so far is it's taking a minus 10 to get in. So we're in Wednesday's qualifying round. We may have one or two nines that make it in, but it's been taking a minus 10 in most of my brackets to qualify. In my main account, there was 4 people at minus 12, so everybody is trying to pick up a shot here or there, and there's lots of opportunities. All right, I will see you on the opening round. Hopefully everybody's having a great tournament. The whole goal, minus 11. Stay on track for that minus 11. Make it so that the minus 11 is a given, and that way if you pick up a shot on any hole, you can hang on to that shot, and that will really separate you. So work on your minus 11 shot. Thanks for watching.